Ah.
Hello, hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is round 3 of the 3K Legacy in Sursee. And I'm very excited. This is going to be a fantastic matchup. We are having two of the... I think they're two of the best players in the room, right? We can safely say that.
Yes.
Both
yes.
very experienced players. They've been around forever. Marius is he's not playing that much these days because he's working a lot, but he's been around forever. He's playing all kinds of formats, especially Vintage, Highlander, Legacy. And he's on Grixis Delver, quite a standard list, but he's played it a lot. I think he's quite confident with it. And on the other side, introduce Gabriel for us.
Gabriel is also, he's a local, I would say, as you are not. No, he's a really cool guy. He's also playing Magic since really long time, I think. Having even won quite big tournaments at his very young age in standard and limited formats, I think. And then settled down also into Vintage, Legacy, and sometimes maybe Modern. So yeah, but he loves all sorts of games. And he is playing since quite some time as well now at Nauseam Storm.
And he's a very, very confident player, and he's thinking about everything.
Yep.
Not too long, but he's
sometimes
thinking
it's too long,
plays.
to be honest.
It is.
Sometimes it's too long, but maybe you also want to make sure it's like you double check your thoughts.
Yeah, but he's playing a fast deck, so I don't think it matters too much now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known Gabriel for quite some time as well, and I think he's a really cool dude, and he's also, even though he's an amazing player, even had some success on international level, he has always been very humble.
Yep. But
Like
humble, friendly, always likes to talk about the game.
Yeah, and if most people, they're like just complaining or talking bullshit between matches, and he's asking questions like, what did I do wrong? Is that the right play? Like even though he's so experienced and probably knows better than the people he's asking, to be honest.
He still asks to get like another point of view and some
which
insight.
is actually what I think is very important as a player to grow and to become better.
Yes.
I think that's a lot of the reason why he's so good.
And that feels so ugly if you know that you're going up against a combo deck and turn one they probe you and you...
Pants down, show me what you got. Oh, there's a Spell Pierce and nothing else, cool.
Double Brainstorm.
Yeah.
What is that? Ponder and a Trap, okay.
Yeah,
and
the Brainstorm weakens the Gitaxian probe quite a bit.
Yes.
But it's still fine.
Definitely.
Do you Spell Pierce that?
No. I don't think you can afford it with this hand, like... No, I don't think so, no.
Yeah. Depends on the hand, though.
Yes.
If there was like a Delver already on board and another Force...
Then it gets
perhaps.
reasonable.
Yeah.
I agree, but if not, then you have to find something. He knows that, and if he has any discard spell into like killing you, then you want a second card to be safe.
But it's always tricky. And sometimes it's best to just not allow him to sculpt his perfect hand.
I agree. Like
his perfect 7 is probably going to beat your perfect 7.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Yeah, like that's where probe is so good. Like if you see that the Storm player is really depending on the cantrip to find like his final piece.
Yeah.
And
probe is really important in this matchup for the Delver deck. I agree.
He's playing 4, right? Yeah. Standard list. Okay. And even leaving up the cards, very nice. Oh no! Just as I say it, he picks him up. Okay.
Not gonna show you my fork bolt.
Because it's so good against you.
Well, it doesn't really matter. He has 2 Brainstorms.
Would you have fired one of main phase there?
No.
Okay.
No, because you want to be able to Brainstorm and Spell Pierce in the same turn.
Yep. I agree.
For exactly this reason.
Leading with Brainstorm, okay?
Yeah. makes sense because he wants to shuffle away
Yeah,
the
he
bad
definitely
cards.
wants to shuffle away.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you, child.
You're very welcome.
He's
Find
drawing
more
even.
bolts.
Yeah. Did he replace a bolt with a bolt?
Yes, and found a Death Ride days. Now, do you
But-
spell pierce it? Probably, right? Just to
think you
deny
have to.
information, right?
Yeah.
And the spell pierce is going to
Yeah,
be taken
because
anyway.
he's
so-
also holding on days,
Yep.
which you don't want to reveal.
And he doesn't have double black, so it's well, he still could go off, obviously, but it's not that likely that he.
It's quite unlikely, yeah. They said, and Gabriel won immediately. Wouldn't surprise
and
me.
there was double lead into everything. Okay.
He only plays 6 discard spells, though.
It's quite common, I have the feeling.
It is?
Yeah, like it always differs, obviously, between 6 and 8. 8, I think, is definitely too much. And 7 is okay. 6 is like the lowest limit you want to go.
Yeah,
But like
agreed.
from my experience, sometimes you just draw too much, and there are certain matchups where it's really not that good, and you just die because you have too few like combo cards in hand. Consistency was the word I was looking for. But yeah,
Oh,
he
setting
lets it
Gladiolus
resolve. He lets
Cool.
it resolve. Wow.
I can understand where he's coming from, because if he takes the spell pierce, which I'm not sure he will, he can still cast like Ead Brainstorm.
Yep. And he's taking the ponder. Yeah. I agree. I agree with that play.
Leaving the Brainstorm in hand can be quite valuable, though, because of Cabal
It's
Therapy.
risky if he finds a fetch land as well. Ah, you mean Cabal Therapy of the other
Yeah.
from the other side.
So you can
Yes.
mind games dodge
Yes.
the Cabal Therapy.
Very true
Oh,
that.
fetch land. That's nice. That's very nice. I think Marius is drawing quite well, considering that he doesn't have a force.
I do agree. But I don't know if it's enough. So
No,
isn't how much mana?
no, he needs like a clock and a force quite soon.
Yeah. I think by next or well, yeah, if he doesn't find the land, Gabriel it is, then he has some more time, I think, with his soft counters, but
Yeah,
his
but
clock is not too
Gabriel
quick.
knows what they are, so
Yep, he can play completely around it.
perhaps. I can't really see what Gabriel's hand is.
I think it's,
It's
a
too
bunch
shiny.
of rituals and at least one lead and I think
Yeah.
a tutor.
Which would be a kill.
Yes. As easy as it sounds. Maybe he wants to bait him with just starting with a ritual and then see if he commits a card to the ritual.
I feel like a boxing commentator with this huge ass microphone in front of my face.
They're huge, guys. They've organized some huge micros here. I hope
Yeah.
sound quality is okay.
I think they sound nicely, but they're big.
Let's see. He
But it's
almost
quite cool.
put that lead on play there.
Yeah, I see what you mean. He's thinking too long. I mean, you either have to go for it or you don't.
Yeah,
It's like-
like
And he
body
knows
language telling
he-
quite a bit there.
He literally knows Mario's hand. Like,
Yeah, but wait. Okay, so if he pierces, he can respond with another ritual and then pay for the days, right? But he goes for brainstorm anyways. So.
I don't think you can afford to spell pierce the ritual in any case. It's quite funny that bold is actually relevant.
Somewhat true. But why, like, Okay, you wouldn't spell pierce in 10 days? Never ever in this situation?
I think it's very risky because if you expend like your entire counter magic on a single Dark Ritual, is very likely just going off the next turn.
But yeah, but if you don't do it, it's very likely going off this turn, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so
if he spell pierces,
you're smelling the bait anyways.
If he spell pierces the Infernal Tutor, I don't think he has enough to cast Ad Nauseam in the same turn.
But he is casting it. Interesting.
Yeah. I think he's just scared because his brainstorm was quite bad.
Yeah. And he's left with the Death Rite basically in the days.
And
he's got a Wasteland, okay. And an Amazing Bolt, yes.
I think Gabriel has got this right.
Yeah, if he doesn't do any mistakes from here, I think he can go off. Death Rite isn't even active on exiling any instant or sorcery, so he can go easy through a Past in Flame skill.
Yeah. And that's what I we talked earlier about actually playing Storm, and the best thing Gabriel can do at this point is like ignoring what Marius has.
Yeah. Yeah. There he goes, responding with a ritual to dispel pierce in order to pay. If he dazes, he has the island to pay for the daze, and then he has tutor and 2 lights into all he wants, I suppose. There he brings out the tokens with the mana and the storm count, or what is that?
That's Storm, I think. Ah, nice. All 4. You were right.
Yeah. Okay, so Storm, there was a... What was there? A Brainstorm, so Storm 4, I think, right? 3? 4?
1, 2, 3, 4, yeah.
Then he should go up to 4 mana 5. Okay, he tapped the island. He didn't daze.
No.
He didn't daze. There's the Let's. He has a tutor, right?
Yeah, I think so.
If he doesn't have a tutor, it's kind of...
So ballsy from Gabriel to actually take the Ponder in hindsight.
Yeah.
I think I would have just taken the Spell Pierce, but he obviously just wanted to deny the
like finding any force of will? Yes, yes. And Ponder was the best way to get to that, yes.
Yeah.
I do agree 100%.
Yeah.
Especially since there was no fetch land he could see, so if Marius doesn't draw any fetch lands, then the Brainstorm is kind of... It's good, still good, but it's not as good.
Is that the one of Dark Petition?
It is. And he cracks the light in response, probably for red, I assume. Or since he's on 17, he could also go for that Nauseam kill, but I'm not sure you want to do that. Since there is also an active Bolt. And the days. So he didn't make any red mana, right? Oh, is it just straight up lethal? What? Okay.
I don't think so.
He goes for that Nauseam.
Yeah. I think Death Rite still has Summoning Sickness, right?
Okay. Well, in any way, he didn't have black mana, so it wasn't... Or
No,
you mean because of the Bolt?
Because of Bolt.
Okay, sorry. Well, let's see. But wouldn't you have gone for the Past in Flames? Or was he short, maybe?
I think I would have gone for a Nauseam as well.
Okay.
I think Past in Flames is... I'm not sure if he can reliably kill him with Past in Flames.
And there finds tendrils. He's on 1, 2. So
I
he's
think
on
that's
6
lethal
I
already.
think. Does he have the mana to cast it though? He has only 1 petal.
There's a Cabal ritual.
Yeah, but how does he cast the Cabal Ritual?
Is he floating no mana?
No, he had to pay for the days. Oh, he didn't play a land yet, maybe?
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, he's really low right now. He's on, I don't know how much.
1, 2,
Like
3, 4,
4-ish.
6.
So if he didn't play a land yet, he's fine. If not, he has to find another petal. And he scoops it up.
Bolt was almost lethal.
Yeah, so
Cool.
I guess he really was
Cool.
summoning sick.
So what are we going to see from the sideboard from Marius?
Probably the forked bolt. No, just kidding.
Dismember as well.
Yeah. I think he's going to maybe bring in the Marsh Casualties, although I'm not sure. Just because he has so many deck cards main against empty kill. Then the therapies for sure, and surgical extractions for sure, and that's probably it. Maybe a one of Ancient Grudge if he really has enough space.
I think you take the Pyroblast as well,
You take the Pyroblast. Okay.
because you
Just killing the Brainstorms and
don't
Ponders.
need
Yeah.
cards like True Name Nemesis.
That's very true. Would you keep in 1 or 2 Anglers, or you cut them as well?
I think Angler U is actually the best clock,
Threat you want, okay.
because you can cast it quite reliably for 1 mana and leave yourself open to counter
Sure.
magic.
Sure.
Angler is
But you
such
got
an
like
amazing card.
4, like you don't want to see like 2 Death Rights, a Delver, and an Angler, right?
Yeah,
Like
maybe
one
you
is enough.
maybe you cut down on the Pyromancers. I
All
think
right.
I'd rather play Angler than Pyromancer.
Okay. And then you cut all bolts for sure.
I
You leave 1 or 2 in.
guess it depends how much he wants to side in.
Yeah. So okay, if he takes 2 Pyroblasts, 2 surgical, and 3 therapy, that's 7 cards.
That's quite a lot already.
yeah.
So
it's
that's
gonna-
7. So you take out the 5 bolts and 2
the 2 True Name,
Pyromancers.
or yeah, True Name over
True
Pyro,
Name,
I'd say. Yeah. Since it's really good with therapy, the Pyro.
Bolt might be slightly better than like a 3rd Pyro. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you
It
keep him
probably
2
doesn't matter
bolts
too much.
to keep him honest with that Nauseum, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
anyway.
Exactly.
So, I mean, a Nauseum, do you board? If yes, what?
I think you have to anticipate what the Delver player is boarding and
Yes.
adjust your sideboarding plans according to that. So you can't really sideboard that much against what Marius is going to board in. The only exception I see is the one of Xanthid Swarm right off the bat,
Right.
which is quite great, especially if Marius boards out all the board, gets rid of his bolts and not boards in the casualties.
One of the reasons to keep in bolts, yes.
Yeah.
And then
But
Grand
it's-
Seal
it's-
maybe? Or
It's quite common to see like some creatures postboard from Storm players. Occasionally Xanthid Swarm, Dark
Pyromancer or Bob.
Confident,
Yeah.
Pyromancer. There's quite a few options, so I think that's a good reason to keep in like 2 bolts.
Right.
I don't think you want to board too much because the Delver player is quite likely not going to board in something permanent based to interact with you. He doesn't play Meddling Mage, Spheres, something like this, so you don't need bounce.
Very true.
I don't think you need the Fatal Pushes against the Death Rights. I don't think you care that much. Maybe Ground Seal?
Yeah, because it turns off Death Rights and this kind of surgical protection, which gives you a lot of
Yes.
value. I don't think I have any other
Yes.
Grave Hate,
Yes.
but... and
True,
it draws
but
you a card, but...
The issue is every card you board in, you weaken your combo.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think
That's
if
very
you're
true.
playing against counter magic, you want to board as little as possible.
So 1 Xanthid Swarm and maybe the Flusterstorm. I could
No,
see...
you don't. No,
You don't want the Flusterstorm?
You don't want the flusters. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think this card is much better.
And what you take out for the 1 Xanthid Swarm? Just a cantrip or a petal?
Maybe the petition. Maybe like
A Nauseum? You keep in the Nauseum?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Against such, like on the draw against an aggressive Delver deck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you keep it. It's just the most reliable way to win really quickly.
Okay.
I think I see an abrupt decay. Is that right?
I'm not sure. It's like the light's really reflecting. I don't
Pretty
think
sure
so.
it
no.
is.
You think? Okay. So he starts off
That
with
would be
Superb.
kind of confusing because what do you anticipate for the abrupt decay?
Cage is kind of no. Like I mean, if they board in Cage, you're rather happy, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there no? Maybe he misjudged what the deck is, but I don't think so. Like, or I think they also talked. Let's have a therapy there.
Yeah, it's a DK.
It's a DK. Yeah, he brought it in.
That's quite confusing. The probe is quite nice because Marius is actually holding triple days and a Force of Will.
And the Wasteland.
Yeah.
And the Wasteland.
It's such an amazing card for the deck.
Wow, he dazes the probe.
I think I would have done the same.
Yeah,
to be
because
honest.
like, he has a really slow hand, the Storm player that is, and if he doesn't know what to dig for and how much permission there is, it's really annoying for him. So it's true. And you just trade a card for a card, so it's not.
That's always fine when you're playing against Storm.
Yep.
But still, you probably don't want to use like a Flusterstorm or a Spell Pierce.
No, Flusterstorm not.
If you don't have an abundance of counter magic, anyways.
Very true. Very true.
I'm still thinking about the abrupt decay. I can't really see a reason why there should be one.
I don't know. Maybe there's an argument for killing their one threat, because you know they're probably going to take out like some threats on post-board games, and like if you kill their one Delver, you force them to dig for another threat, which gives you a lot of time, but it's not a good reason. I think that's so far and so.
That's so far away from what you're trying to do with the deck.
Yeah, it's very true.
You're not planning for the long run.
I know.
I know. Maybe he just thought, well, I guess he might have something weird just in case.
Maybe it's just one of DK as well. That's true. Yeah. He has 3 in total, right? Or how many? Yeah, 3 DKs in total. But don't you bring in the Void Snare? Well, I don't know. Not Void Snare, but Jade of Vapor, I mean. But I don't think so.
I guess the DK is just much more reliable against the deck with this amount of counter magic.
Well, maybe there's a Lee line of Sanctity.
I'm quite confident there is not ever in Grixis Delver.
Hopefully not.
It's an amazing sideboard card. It truly is, but not in this deck. No, but I mean, Chain of Vapor can also be red blasted, and there's a bunch of reasons why DK is quite nice. It's also bad against Wasteland, though.
Yes. yes. Oh, wow. Second Death Right with no Black Source. Beautiful. That really sucks. Like, even if you have the permission and you do not get to play your game against the Storm player, you feel bad because you get behind and he's just sculpting and eventually he just blows you out of the game. And the second probe. He will reluctantly show his hand, good old Marius.
I think Gabriel's hand was quite bad when he started, and I think it still kind of sucks, but it's great against what
DK.
Marius does.
Yeah.
Because Marius has a hand with counter magic and no pressure. And the best thing you can do against Daisies and the Force of Will is just sculpt your hand for
Sculpt your hand, find discard, play lands to play around the soft counters, and then eventually kill him.
Marius needs a fetch land ASAP.
Yes. Any black source would be a lot appreciated. which is also cantrip. He found the land, but what is it? Maybe it's actually another wasteland if he's hesitant. Oh no, it's a Delver. We found the clock. Nice.
Not the one he wanted.
No, especially since he knows there's at least one DK in his opponent's hand.
Yeah, but still fine. Playing DK enables the wasteland.
It's true. Yeah, that's one of the other things, right? Against Delver, you don't want to rely on your third colors unless you're going off that turn, but not really to play.
There's a Flusterstorm as well.
He boarded it in.
Yeah, I hope he didn't overboard, because it seems like
It
he's
seems
having.
hard, like.
He has already 3 sideboard cards in his hand and no combo pieces.
Yeah, well, he has also the tendrils, to be fair, which is kind of dead.
Yeah, that sucks.
And he has a therapy.
But
Okay.
imagine if the abrupt decays were preordains, or I
Yes.
don't know what he boarded out.
Yes. Yeah, wondering if he's going to board him out for the third game, if there is. We missed the
Finally.
score. We have to adapt the score.
I'm a bad human being.
Sorry, guys, sorry.
It's quite confusing because nobody's writing in the chat. Last time people were commenting a bunch of stuff. Can you please write something, because maybe we're just
To
missing
make
the
sure that it is working, or that like maybe we just missed something, but no, apparently not. Okay. Maybe they don't hear us.
God damn it.
Did we ever check if they hear us?
I think they can.
You think?
Yes. Why is Marius not using his wasteland? That's confusing. To house card the days, maybe?
No, I'm up for.
See? It's working.
It is working. Okay.
Gabriel is drawing nothing. All that sculpting, and he still doesn't have a tutor or a discard spell or anything.
Yeah, but Delver's not flipping, so he's still got time, and there's a wasteland being used.
I think he just drew another wasteland.
And he can yeah, now he cannot cast the angler, right? To really increase, like, if Delver flips, it's a 2-turn clock next turn.
Yeah.
So
Good. It's also worth mentioning every point of damage actually matters quite a bit.
Yep.
Because you're weakening ad nauseum. I think it's already reached a point where
you
ad
don't go
nauseam-
for a nauseum,
no.
no. No.
Maybe if you draw the Dark Petition and with Tendrils already in hand, it's quite safe.
Mm.
Safer than it would be usually, but
Yeah, he can also like cast it a first time if there's no death threat on the table yet. In order to give him some life back, give him a bit more time, and then go for this second round with Past in Flames. But he really is stuck with all his with the Tendrils, this card, and his sideboard cards.
someone in chat is writing that he wouldn't bring in Flusterstorm. I agree. It does nothing at this point. And even the DKs are... I understand that you might be a bit scared, but...
Yeah, but then one DK that you can find something if there is something, but without
agree.
seeing it bringing in 2 to 3 DKs is too much.
Yeah, especially if you're ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the ideal hand, you just discard turn 1 and then kill them turn 2.
Yeah.
Through whatever, and then...
Yeah, exactly. Now he's stuck with the Flusterstorm and a DK in his hand. Sucks.
I think he would like to see Brainstorm, and he does. Nice.
Wow.
Now, would you force that, being on the other side of the table?
I don't think you can.
No.
You don't have enough
Cannot
information.
afford it, it's true. But sometimes forcing Brainstorms wins games.
Yeah. In this game, it certainly would. Not certainly, but it might. I'm not bored at all for this matchup. Yes, that's basically what we said. Probably just a Scented Swarm and maybe a Ground Seal. Maybe. Chat is alive.
Woo!
I guess people had coffee.
Yeah, it's only 2 o'clock, so we don't have to be too.
Yeah, but it's Easter. I think
Demanding.
people have been drinking for days. I know some. Not calling names. How are you feeling,
Talk about the
Matthew?
person. I'm feeling great, actually. I didn't drink that much, but I love that. Yeah. Heard you had a good sleep in the car this morning.
Yeah,
How
Yeah.
was it? Some sweet dreams?
yeah. I don't remember what I dreamed, but I was dreaming actually.
Dreaming about Erayo getting flipped on turn 1.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh,
It's amazing.
beautiful. So Gabriel taking his time, thinking through everything, I suppose. Not willing to offer his volcanic to the wasteland, as it's probably his only red source. Like land, sorry, fetchable red source, not always. No.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he found a Past in Flames, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, just a volcanic, no bad lands. Why are these cards revealed? There was a Gitaxian probe from Marius at some point. All he needs is like a duress. But he still can afford to pass the turn, I think.
Yeah, since he has one more turn.
Mm.
And like if Marius top stacks something, he's probably gonna see it like something good because it flips to the Delver. And
What's
if
the card on the right in Gabriel's hand?
maybe it's the 1 DK that I don't know.
Looks kind of artifacty.
Maybe it's a let. That would be good, obviously.
Or a Beetle. There is a let.
Oh yeah, so yes,
It's Ritual, let, Past in Flames.
Tendrils, I think.
I think he shuffled it
And
away.
there's a therapy for sure.
Oh, I'm still thinking.
Yeah, the 2 guards.
Brainstorm.
Okay. Keeps the Flusterstorm.
Yeah, Flusterstorm is actually okay now.
He's gonna go. Oh no, okay,
Oh,
just
that's
therapy. Yeah, that's
amazing.
great.
That's so much better than duress. Because you can take away the 2 daisies and disable force at the same time. That's so cool.
He's gonna force it.
Nah, I can't. do
Giving
that.
him 1 storm, knowing that he has tendrils possibly in hand, and
I don't think he should force here because
going to 16. Yeah,
If
but
he basically has to take away the double days.
you give up all protection for this turn. Like you say, if you have it, I lose. Okay.
Yeah, but if he draws a blue card, he has a force in the next turn.
Yeah, that's true.
And 1 days is probably not enough protection.
Anyways, that's also
Yeah.
very true.
He can know that, right? It's a gamble. Oof. I'm feeling bad for Marius.
Not going his ways with the
No,
draws and
it's not
everything,
going
right?
his
Even though he
way.
had such a bad hand, Gabriel at the
Sequencing
beginning.
was
it
quite bad. Gave Gabriel all the time in the world to sculpt his hand. And there we can see the beautifully altered Underground Sea.
Yes. A very nice card. There's rumors it is a foreign black border on the Grand Sea originally, but
Yes, I'm sure it is, but it's not.
I don't think so. But okay, where are we here? He doesn't have a tutor, I think, right? He has pure, so he has to go Piff, Past and Flames, and then recast Rituals and probably like 2 probes, and then can go for the Tendril skill. Storm is quite high, I think. Like 4 or 5 already.
Yeah, Storm is high.
There's
Storm is not the issue, I think mana is the issue.
Yeah.
He doesn't have another ritual in his graveyard, does he?
No, I don't think so.
And there is another Storm count. Cool.
Yeah,
so
but
Marius wants to disable the red mana.
Yeah, which is quite smart actually.
Yeah. I think it's not enough though, because he can cast Past in Flames from the graveyard with the lead, right?
But it costs 1 more.
Yes.
So okay.
I think he's missing just 1 mana.
Yeah. Or we are maybe missing something. I mean, he gets to draw like 2 free cards with probe anyways. I think there are at least 2 probes in his graveyard.
And I don't think he had a land trap this turn, right?
True, but he doesn't have... Okay, yeah, Red Source he doesn't need because he cracks the lead.
Well, Flusterstorm seemed disappointing.
Do agree. I do agree. Like, you cover it all with the discard, right? You don't need those extra... It's only against, for the combo matchup, the Flusterstorm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just boarding... I don't understand why there's only 1 Extended Swarm. I think I would have put 2 and just board the 2 Extended Swarms in this kind of matchup.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, because it's very hard to interact with Extended Swarm once you board out the balls.
Yep, it's... And you don't want to, like, you have to force it kind of, then? Like
Yeah, but
saying you have to force it, then...
what else can you expect from a card that costs just 1 mana? And if he doesn't have
It's
the force...
perfect, it's absolutely perfect.
Every counter spell is basically dead.
Yeah. So he finds... Okay, and that's enough for him.
Yeah.
There was a brainstorm.
There was a Cabal therapy somewhere. Cabal ritual.
Yeah, I think he flashed back the probe and then the ritual, and then he found with the probe, he found the enough mana basically to just cast the tendrils. I think he might be missing 1 storm, but he could have flashed back another therapy. So
it was well played.
No big issue. Yeah, very well played from Gabe Vincent. They also
And
call him Schrank.
Which translates to cupboard?
Cupboard, yes. Yes.
Closet. He's the closet.
He's the closet. He's quite a beast.
Oh man. But it's quite impressive to see that even through a Force of Will and 3 Dazes, and even though he drew 2 of his bad sideboard cards, he still won.
Yeah, because like the Delver didn't flip for a couple of turns, and he didn't.
Yeah, there's a lot that went wrong for Marius as well, but
yeah,
at the same time, still quite impressive. He didn't board Extended Swarm. He opted to go for Abrupt Decay, Flusterstorm, and Ground Seal. Wow.
Both Grand Seals, even okay.
Yeah, I agree
no
with
Swarm,
Chad. I think he was overboarding. I especially don't understand the Abrupt Decay. 1, maybe 2 Ground Seal is fine. Extended Swarm would be quite cool. But I don't understand the Flusterstorm and the Abrupt Decay.
Well, the
Maybe
Flusterstorm
we can
I can get to, but I also did that already as a Storm player. I can see why it's wrong, actually. But
it's
in certain moments it can be very
For
good.
example, if you want to go off with an Infernal Tutor and a LED, Flusterstorm does nothing.
No, I know, I agree.
It doesn't
like
do
in some
anything.
spots it's super bad, and that's why it's probably not worth it. Okay.
Alex is 3-0. He's so proud.
3-0. He's so
That's so
proud.
cute.
Oh god, he's playing white girls and boys.
Yeah. I think
Mr.
we're going
Alex.
to get to see him in.
Yeah, in the next game will be interesting
Yeah,
to see.
will be cool.
A good guy from the UK.
I hope not against Storm. That's quite a boring matchup.
No.
You have Talia? No, you die. You have Talia? I don't have a solution, I die.
Yeah, and then if not, he has Thalia and Prelate and there's one Canonist and then.
The game of ifs.
Game against that. So let's see if we can get another game. I'm not sure. Like,
if you're up there, can you maybe ask Gabriel if he wants to come here for an interview?
Yep.
fucking Tastatur. Was sind das da für Holzbretter? Ich sehe dich ja gar nicht. Ja. Alright. Oh shit, oh sorry. Yeah, give me some warm-up time here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are very happy that Gabriel joined us at the commentator's desk. Gabriel, congratulations, man! You won T0, and from what I've seen, you've played quite convincingly, quite crisp. Well played. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Marius agrees.
No, thanks for having me here. I think it was. Honestly, I think this game favors Storm in general after sideboarding, which might have led me to looking convincingly on the stream. But it's always a grind, you know, especially all this blue base deck with Wasteland and they can always win.
Yeah, that's true. Why do you think it's quite favored for the Storm player postboard?
If they don't have a creature which pressures you enough, say a Delver, which flips early, or a Deathrite Shaman, which is active really soon, you have time to play your lands, and therefore render their soft counters useless. hold on real quick. Das ist, glaube ich, am Frutschi sein. Ist das an den Tisch geliefert worden? Das ist... Ja, kannst mal an den Tisch das andere Ende. Ja, genau. Okay. Sorry for interrupting. I think you can develop your mana base well. You also have to pay attention to that with your cantrips and all that. But as soon as you have like 3-4 lands in play, you can really get ahead fast because you can combo off through soft counters, no problem. And then there are also the ground seals in sideboard, which really help in the post-board games, I think, because they give you outs to play for. Sometimes it can be hard to play against surgical counters and death rights, and yeah, that's why they're there, and they really turn it around.
That makes sense. We were discussing your sideboard and Marius' sideboard as well, and we expected you to board in the Extended Swarm and maybe 1 or 2 ground seals, but we never expected the Abrupt Decay. What was the reasoning behind the Abrupt Decays?
The Abrupt Decays, there is, let me gather my thoughts here, it's Gravedigger's Cage, what is it called? The 1 mana artifact?
Gravedigger's Cage,
yeah,
the one that stops you from casting spells.
Right. I was somewhat afraid of that card, and I mean, the Scented Swarm is fine and all that, but it's not crucial. It's not a crucial card in the matchup. You can lose on the spot against the Gravedigger's Cage, and in which case you need a solution. And Scented Swarm it would also be great, of course. And in game 3, I might have, or I should have swapped one decay out for the Scented Swarm. But I just was, I didn't feel comfortable enough to say he doesn't have a Gravedigger's Cage and therefore leave out those decays. Yeah.
We understood that the Abrupt Decay is like the very safe thing to do.
Yeah.
But we also discussed Gravedigger's Cage as well, and Matthew said if the Delver player boards in Gravedigger's Cage, I think he's making a mistake actually.
Oh really?
Because
okay.
He can already board like a ton of more counter magic and the surgical extractions. And the Gravedigger's Cage only really stops you from casting Past in Flames, and you're still fine going off with Empty the Warrens or with
I boarded that one. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's a good line of reasoning actually. Frankly, I gotta admit that I haven't played too much in the last few weeks. Therefore, I'm just that was probably just wrong on my part. Then I won't do that again in this case. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Because we were quite sad to see like your hand and your board were developing, but you were holding a Flusterstorm and an Abrupt Decay, and both did absolutely nothing. If they had been preordained, I think you could have won like
I would only somewhat agree to that statement, because I think the decays really gave me the option to wait. You know, I had the position to just sit back and let him play his Death Right Shamans, which I really have to address. I mean, if I wait, you know, that goes hand in hand. If I wait, I have to deal with the Death Right Shaman, and I wouldn't say they were useless on the spot, but I can see, I mean, I don't develop, I just wait. That's true though, yeah. I can see that, yeah. Okay, all right. You had some more information for me? I like your inputs.
They're just questions. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I just wanted to know what the reasoning was behind it. Because we and Chad both thought you were slightly overboarding.
Okay. I think I like your line of reasoning. Therefore, I probably will change it up for the next Rog I hit. And that's about it. So.
Cool. Thank you very much for joining me here. Good luck in the tournament, Gabriel.
Yeah, thank you.